let's talk about aim and some of the huge things that golf pros just forget to tell golfers about aim. Because when it comes to aim, it is a basic subject. It's something that people learn at the start, but it's far more complex than that if you want to be good at aiming and get it to help your golf swing. Let's show you what I mean. So here's a first great example of how I use my aim, so what people understand as aim. Look at my feet pointing way off to the left here, to try and facilitate a certain move and a certain swing. And this is where we need to get better as golfers, of trying to use our aim to help us achieve the goal that we're trying to do. Get the ball in the hole as quick as possible. So let's start with some of the basics. So the bits that most of you know, I would guess, or certainly have seen videos on. So I'm going to point the face, say, where I want the ball to finish is a common idea. That's what people think. They're going to point the face where they want it to go. It seems to make sense. And then they're going to line their feet up parallel to that imaginary line, and then turn their knees, their hips, their shoulders. They're going to try and make them all train track ideas to where they want the ball to go. And there's some merit in that. If I was going to hit this tee shot dead straight, so I'm going to aim it at this right hand bunker, I'm going to try and fly, and then I'm going to aim my feet parallel to that line. Things to bear in mind, little pitfalls that people make. Foot flare accounts for where you aim as well. So see, my lead foot is turned out. Now if you were to stand, if you watch me, I stand quite straight, and then my foot starts to flare more and more out. The more that flares out, the more my feet point off to the left. So if you are trying to make everything train track parallel, then you do need to make sure you're working foot flare into it. So there's your basics to aim. I'm going to try and make the aim facilitate me swinging down that line I want that ball to go. Get my club path going straight, because I'm going to try and hit my nice straight shot. And there are plenty of times where these basic ideas of aim come into play and help me hit target. Oh yeah, that is a rocket, exactly like that. So a perfect drive, and I've now got 215 yards to the flag. So that's my 22-degree hybrid. Now this is where it starts to get really interesting. I hit a pretty straight drive here, and there is not many golfers I know who hit the ball dead straight, including me. Most of my shots will have some level of shape. So let's work on the premise that the face starts the ball in the direction you want it to go. Let's say around 80%. There's exact percents. Let's just call it 80%. So wherever my face hits that ball, whatever direction it's pointing, that's where the ball will start. Then the path will curve it. So if the path is exactly aligned with the face, it goes dead straight, like that last shot. Face pointing at target, swung 0 at target, ball went straight. If I point my face at target but then swing to the right, the ball will start at target, where the face is pointing, and then start to curve off to the left, and vice versa with the slice if I swing out to in with the face pointing at target. Now I'm 200 and whatever yards out, and my 22-degree hybrid, this shot I'm going to play generally, because I'm going to hit an easy one, has a little bit of fade. So that means I want my ball, if I can line these up, starting up the left, meaning my face is now not going to point at target. It's not going to aim at target, and my feet are going to aim more left of the face. So you see what I'm doing here? Now my aim compared to that first shot is so different. These two lines are contradicting each other. Where I point the face and where I point my feet aren't in the same place. Now, how many of you watching, post in those comments down below, how many of you watching hit the ball straight? Most golfers I know curve the ball somewhat. So these contradictions between where the face and your feet point is the only way to get more functional when it comes to trying to hit that target out there. So now feet, hips, shoulders up towards the left side, club left side of the green. Starting left and just feathering back lovely left side of the green as I want it. Aim is far too basic in people's minds. Just being train tracks is not the answer. It's actually the bigger answer that we're going to move on to now is the contradiction between face and feet or not is really what you're not being told, and you should be, because we tend to put curvature on most shots. So now we're talking about the contradictions between face and body alignment, so feet, hips, shoulders. I've got 3 balls teed up here. Let's show you some different ways that this now can facilitate ideas and movements and even swing ideas, because like my pitch on the first, where I did point the face at the target but my feet were off to the left, that was there to facilitate more of an opening up of my body on the way through. The slightly open stance was encouraging a certain movement. And exactly the same can happen here and should be happening on the tee for you guys and girls watching this video. So iron shot number 1, I'm going to point the face right side of the green. Feet are now aiming at the right bunker. In the comments, what shape shot am I trying to hit here, do we think? A nice little draw into the left side, didn't quite get hold of it, but it's trying. Oh, bit down the right, didn't quite get hold of it. The next one here, face left side of the pin, feet towards left bunker. Yep, in the comments, what shot are we hitting? Straight to a little fade. That's a pretty neutral straight shot. If anything, it was going to fall off to the right, and it's bounced nicely to the right. And then the last one, let's think about the last one. I could go for a straight shot, you know, aim my face and feet straight, that kind of classic aim that people go for. With more lofted clubs, you will tend to find you get less curvature. This is a 6 iron, so I can curve it, but it's not going to curve as much as my hybrid or certainly my driver, so I might be able to take more dead aim to wherever my chosen target is. But the other thing I could do, let's say I'm working on a particular movement that's encouraging a certain shape shot. So let's pretend I'm really trying to get hips opening up more because I tend to slide, and then in turn I want to try and then just hold off and hit a little fade. This is where I might aim further left with my feet, like I did with my pitch, to try and encourage certain action. So feet now going further left, but the face is still moving towards where I want the ball to start, just left of the pin, and the path is just going slightly left of my face. It's not marrying my feet. My hip turn is going to marry my feet to try and give me that little butter fade. Oh, that's a lovely shot. Right bounces, that's close. Oh, that is straight on it. God, I hit one of them right. So basically you could use your feet. If you're someone who's seriously slicing tee shot, standing there aiming for it is definitely one protocol that you can use. You need to play golf. If you're curving the ball left to right, you need to aim for it. That doesn't mean being parallel. If you think about what we're doing here, that means aiming feet left of that face. But you could try somewhere the feet are closed, more off to the right of the face, and see what that does for your curvature. Just aiming to assist the shape shots, if you're trying to get rid of certain shape shots, might hurt you in the long run. Aim is so much more dynamic than you're being taught, like so much more. The amount of people I know who are just train tracking everything, they're not hitting it straight. Why would you train track it? It makes no sense. It's an easy click on the old YouTube algorithm, isn't it? It's often much easier in content, unfortunately, to deliver you what you think you already know. People like that. Delivering information that often challenges their beliefs isn't as good for certainly getting views and clicks. And unfortunately, that's where content has gone for whatever reason. Well, we know the reasons, but there we come back to that. Let's finish this video. Now we're thinking more dynamically of some good little tricks that you can use to try and make sure your aim is working for you each time. So some simple tips that you can use to really try and get this aim working for you. Number 1, let's start seeing lines. I can see a cut line here in the grass. I've got the side line here of the tee. So if I want to aim my face over these bunkers I want to go, that means aiming it left of this cut line here. I need to aim it about there. So I'm constantly seeing lines. Now I want this one just to turn a little bit more to the left, so I'm going to aim my feet not far off the cut line. Just constantly looking, using, seeing lines is a great way of getting your setup ready for action. Next thing, ball position line is your aiming line as well. So this ball position line is a right angle to where I want that ball to begin. So if I want to aim down the right, the ball position line is going to move that way and this way more to the left. So I'm often aiming with this line as well, because if you're a shuffler, so if you're someone who puts yourself in position, so my ball position line is basically here, but then I think, oh, I'm aiming too far to the right, I'm going to shuffle back to the left. Now my ball position's moved way forward in my swing, it's positioned me further back. It's going to change paths, change strike points, add more curvature. Make sure you're moving everything around together, because ball position line is a great way of aiming everything, set up and face and feet, all to sync them up. Now the last one, I've put the club on the ground here. This is basically, there's my ball position and aiming ideas down the hole. While you're practicing, you could put the line that's on many golf balls, so I've got a Z-Star logo here, parallel with that ball position line, and have those arrows drawing back and allowing you to sync this line with wherever your feet or club need to be. And it's a great way of seeing if your face is pointing in different directions as well. So if I want to point the face more right, I can aim it right or left of that parallel logo line on my ball. These are all great little cheats to allow you to make sure you're getting yourself in the best place, hit the best shots with some level of repeatability, because that's what you're after. Oh, if that gets through, might be a little left. That's good if it gets through, because that's what we want, repeatability. And that's repeatability to function. So each time you aim, you're able to be robust. You're able to point your feet and your face in a way that allows the task to be done. It's not just train tracks. That is a method, and if you're going for dead straight shots, it gives you a premise of how to point in a general direction, but it's so much more complex than that. In the comments down below, quick question: how many PGA Tour players are actually aiming at flags? This is before we look at aiming, you know, where's the best to aim, left of the green, middle of the green, those kind of things, front, short, all those kind of things. But how many PGA Tour pros are out there playing, or golf pros in general, and are aiming at the flag? It's small. They'll be playing for their curvature. They'll be aiming left to move it in. They'll be aiming right to move it in, just to play their stock shots. We all have stock shapes. We need to aim for them. We can also learn our contradictions to maybe beat them and calm them down. Let me know if this helps.